should be streaming.
So I got silent.
It looks like we have levels, so I'm gonna roll with it. And
I see levels. I think I see bars moving.
All right, so let's hit the start and let's get going.
Let's rock and roll. There's our proof we're live. Maybe the plug that you plugged in, maybe it's trying to run through that wire even though it's not.
Yeah, it's coming through there. It's just not coming through here.
We got music playing. We're just the only ones that can't hear it.
I don't get what's happening today. And,
That's all right. It's our first time back in studio, man. We're meant to have a little bit of.
Yeah, I didn't have these issues last week though. That's a surprising thing.
What up, Janice? Happy to be back.
Yeah.
We got Janice in the chat. She's hearing us. She's seeing us. Says we look good. I think she means more you to me, but I'll take the compliment anywhere I can get it. We'll roll with them.
Let's roll with it. So, speaking of which, I want to jump right into it this week, and I don't know why. Things sound weird. That looks off. Okay, all right. I don't know.
We roll with it.
We're rolling.
We live. We learn. We move on.
We'll get better.
It's our first time back in studio in over 3 months. We're allowed to have an issue or two with our setup, and I mean with how amazing you made the visuals look. I think we can survive
Visually,
a little audio.
we got better.
Yeah, I mean visually.
Audio wise, we still need some work.
Yeah.
So that being said, yeah, happy to be back with you, my friend.
My
Good
man,
to see you.
happy to be back.
Good to see you.
Shout out to our boy Joey D. Hopefully we can get him back in studio with us as well.
Hopefully, I definitely look forward to that. And I'm gonna start us off this way this week.
Knuckleheaded news
Off we go. All right.
Gotta do it because one of the dumbest things I saw happen on the night one with what the hell was Jalen Carter doing spitting at Dak Prescott. Now, I know other videos have come out. People say that, oh, well, Dak spit first or whatever. I don't think Dak spit first. And I'm going to throw out this theory because I said it that night. I think what happened is Dak gave him like a little like kissy face. Like it looked like he gave him like a smoochy face. And Jalen Carter probably didn't take kindly to that. And that's where I think the spitting came from, because he's like, you ain't doing that to me. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, and then he went patooey. And so, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, like, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you literally don't even get a chance to play a snap. Now, look, the one video angle definitely shows Dak spitting in his direction, but he's definitely looking down as he spits. He doesn't spit right at him. And then Jalen Carter to spit at Dak Prescott, like, two things specifically stick out to me that make that ridiculously idiotic. One, he's literally the highest paid player in the most important position of the game, the most protected position in the game. But two, the ref is literally closer to him than you are to me right now. Like, literally closer to him than you are to me right now. And he decided to spit a loogie right at him. And I started laughing. I thought it was funny. I'm like, oh my God. And like I told everybody, right? I thought Dallas was going into that game playing with house money, and all of a sudden their best defensive player gets kicked out of the game before the first snap of the game. I'm like, oh man, maybe they got a chance. And if CD Lamb could catch a ball, maybe they would have actually had a chance. But hey, you make $30 million as a wide receiver, you drop the ball, you got your guaranteed money. It is what it is. I'm gonna chuck it up to a bad first game for CD, and not think it's going to be a trend for the rest of the year. I mean, all year last year he had 3 drops. He had 4 drops. Well, 3 drops technically, because according to how they put the stat in for that final play, they didn't rule that a drop, which I'm okay with. I mean, that's a low percentage catch, no matter how great the wide receiver is. I still think he should have caught it, but I'll let him slide on that one, even though it was what put the nail in the coffin for the Cowboys in week 1. But overall, Jalen Carter, definitely knuckleheaded news of the day. And yeah, I mean, what better way to start our first show in studio other than talking about a grown man spitting on another grown man on a professional football field?
It was the dumbest thing you've ever seen. And the one topic I'm going to bring up real quick is the other dumbest thing I've seen all weekend was that Karen in Philly. I mean, come on.
My God.
How bad a human being do you have to be to take a ball from a kid?
From a kid.
Now, it would be one thing if the guy took it and the guy kept it and the guy was like, oh, with his bros and whatever, and you went over and tried to argue with him, whatever. I can almost see that. But when the father gives the ball to his kid and you come over and demand the ball back.
That's my ball.
When, by the way, he went down, it took him a second to get down the aisle to get to the ball. If you were right there, why didn't you pick it up? You know what I mean? Like, it's free grabs.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, when you go to any ball game, this happens in football too. Ball gets kicked over the net. It's fair game.
Oh, yeah.
It's a free-for-all. Get the ball. But once you got the ball, it's done. And the other rule is you don't take it from a kid. If a kid's there, even if you grab it momentarily and be like, I got it, you go, hey, kid, here it is.
Yeah, that's a core memory for that child. That moment will make that kid love baseball for the rest of his life.
Or football or whatever sport it is. I don't care if it's basketball. I don't care what it is. If you get handed a ball and there is a child next to you, or you catch a ball and there is a child next to you, that child gets the ball. Like, I'm sorry. If you are over the age of, 18 or 21, that child gets the ball.
I'd say over, 16.
So to hear that woman can't leave her house now without getting booed warms my heart.
Oh,
because
so great.
She should get booed everywhere she goes.
So great. She got talked about on Stephen A's podcast, or the one he does solo by himself. He talked about her. It's been talked about all over. What I will say is, look, I don't like any Philadelphia sports team. Don't like any single one of them. Sixers, Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, don't care. Don't like any Philadelphia sports team. But what I will say is the way the Phillies organization handled that, they brought him back to the locker room. I don't think he got into the locker room, but they brought him back to the locker room. They gave him a signed baseball bat. They really made it up to the kid, and which is a good thing, right? That's your future star, right? That kid one day will bring his kid to a game, right? And that's your return on investment, right? You do that little moment where, now the Phillies look good. That kid looks like an innocent, kid, which I'm sure he is. He didn't do anything wrong. His dad went and did it for him. But that woman literally just ruined herself. Ruined her. Imagine walking into work yesterday. Imagine walking into your job and your coworker seeing you on TV flipping out like that.
You can't. It's over.
Yeah, so you're done.
You move.
You're done.
Shave your head. Yeah. Change your hairstyle. Do it.
You're done. Leave the States. That's your best bet. You get out of the States. That's your best bet.
And then the fact that Harrison Bader, he literally called other MLB teams, asked them not to allow her in, all sorts of stuff. She deserves everything she's getting. She's terrible. And we're gonna move on. We don't need to waste too much time on that. But we got to get to some of these games in week 1, and then we're gonna pick a couple for week 2. We're not gonna pick them all like we did last week because that's just crazy to do every week. But week 1, you got to do it.
I couldn't agree more. Week one, I'm with you. I got you. Yeah, I got the reach.
Yeah. So, sorry, the mic keeps swinging. Again, I got to get some technical stuff down here in the office, but we'll get it.
But real quick, for those of watching us on YouTube, can we take appreciation of this? All right. And you're not even seeing the whole picture. It keeps going. All right, it keeps going.
There's so much.
There's things down on the ground that you can't see. For the Giant fans that are out there, he's got signed OBJ gloves down on the floor that you can't see. But my favorite, and I just have to say this. I wish we had a way to zoom in with the camera. Having a signed Mike Tyson Punch-Out poster that is signed by Mike Tyson, you don't get better than that. I'm sorry. There's a lot of great sports memorabilia out there. I don't know if you get better than that, especially for our generation, right? Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was the game.
Oh, yeah.
That was
for Nintendo,
the game,
that was
right?
Great.
So to have that signed by Mike Tyson, I mean, the only thing I think would come close to that is if it was.
You can tell it's Nintendo too because he's got it's almost like a little Mario.
Oh no, that is supposed to be Mario. That is supposed to be Mario because Mario is the foundation of everything they did. Yeah. So that is technically supposed to be Mario. But yeah, that one sticks out the most to me. But there's some really great stuff. He actually has Star Trek.
William Shatner.
William Shatner signed what looks to be a hockey jersey. We've got a signed Homer Simpson picture that actually was signed by the guy that voices Homer Simpson.
Yeah, we got Springsteen. We got a couple.
There's a lot
Ron
in here.
My dad's favorite pitcher of all time, 25-3 in 1978. I heard about that summer my entire life.
I'm sure there was things that went down there in that summer that they were very happy social media and cameras on their phone didn't exist. So
absolutely.
But no, I just hope everybody can take that in for those of you at home, those of you watching us on YouTube. For those of you that are not and listening to the podcast later, we appreciate you guys as well. But we're really happy to be back here. But to Eric's point, right? We got week 1 to recap. A lot of some really craziness that took place in week 1, especially in the last 72 hours just between Sunday night and Monday night. We had a great game between Dallas and Philly that was much closer than people expected. You had a great game with Tampa Bay and Atlanta. You had a great game, I would say, with the Jets and the Steelers.
Let's talk about that one for half a second. If we're going to talk about one game, let's talk about that one because Rodger's revenge. I mean, 4 touchdowns or something? He had himself a
4 tutties, yeah. And then he came out and said, I was happy to beat everybody in the Jets organization.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know that it meant some more to him. I mean, listen, Fife called it last week. I'm going to shout out our buddy Fife, but Fife called it last week. He said Justin Fields is going to ball out. He said Justin Fields is going to have himself a man's day, and he went out and had himself a man's day. So shout out to Fife for predicting that. He didn't get the Jet win right because the Steelers ended up pulling it out 34-32. But the Jets were right there step for step. They look good. I think they've got to do a little bit of improvement on defense. But, I mean, offensively, they've looked as good as they've looked. I mean, I don't think you could say that the Jets' offense was the problem. No. I wouldn't even call the defense necessarily a problem. They were playing a pissed-off Rodgers. I get it. But at the same time,
they win the game if it's not for a fumbled punt.
Yeah.
They win the game, right? They win the game.
Special teams, man.
Yeah,
Special teams.
They win the game if Fields runs with it on 4th down instead of throwing it to Garrett Wilson. But in the moment, that was the right play. He had 3 guys converging on him. And you got your number 1 wide receiver making, 28, 32, something like that, $1 million a year, sitting there in the flat, wide open, right past the 1st down marker. You make that throw. 9 out of 10 times you make that throw. But when you got a DB like Jalen Ramsey coming down on you, he laid the wood. No other way to put it. He laid the wood, knocked the ball loose, locked up the win for Pittsburgh. But if you're a Jets fan, I mean, look. Shout out my cousin Mike, who is a Jets fan. He texted me over the weekend and was like, calling a timeout as you line up for a 2-point conversion, unbelievable. Yeah.
And all I wrote back was rookie move by a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, listen, first game as a head coach, things are going to happen. Unfortunately, it's one of those things you didn't want to happen. He also said when you score 30-plus points, you're supposed to win. And you are, and that's where I say I think they need more out of the defense. That defense is supposed to be showing up. Sauce Gardner needs to be locking people down. They need more out of that defense because
30-plus points against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense, right? And to your point with Aaron Glenn, right? Like, these aren't moments that you really get a chance to practice during the preseason. And when you're a defensive coordinator, or any coordinator for that instance, you're not the one that can call timeouts. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he has past experience in this moment, right? So you live and you learn, but I think there's a lot of positives for the Jets and Pittsburgh both to take away because both teams really think they're going to be more run, play action, and defense as this season moves on. So if the defense is one of your cornerstones for success, you had a rough week 1, but you got to believe you're going to be better. And I think that is something for both teams. They're going to come out of this and feel really good. Breece Hall, I mean, great game by him. You could definitely tell he's a man playing for a contract. He looked really good, but the Jets' offensive line held up well, which was one of their biggest issues last year. I think overall you come out of that game like, look, a loss is a loss, right? When the season's said and done, you lost this game, you lost the conference game. It's going to impact your chances for a playoff game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But with that said, if you're going to lose a game, this is probably one of the better feelings you'll have after losing a game. I don't believe in good losses, but like if you're going to sit there as a Jets fan, you can't walk away from this game and be like, oh, we're going to be, a 3-win team again this year. I don't think you're saying that to yourself.
No, but I mean, to transition us to our next game, I'm going to say that I need Giants fans to pump the brakes because they're doing it. They're calling this, oh my God, we're terrible. Look at what's happening. It's week 1. They're already calling for Jackson Dart. Stop it.
Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help. Do not start Jackson Dart week 2. You saw what the offensive line was like without Andrew Thomas week 1. Are you going to put that kind of pressure on Jackson Dart on week 2? No. I'm sorry. Until Andrew Thomas is back and that line is solidified, he doesn't see the field. Jameis Winston should be the backup until at least Andrew Thomas is healthy because there is no point in putting Jackson Dart in to just be a punching bag. At least Russell Wilson has the stamina and the fortitude to stand in there yesterday. He stood in there, I can't even count how many times, and took a hit as he was throwing. Rookies may not do that. And listen, we got Russ for 1 year. That's it.
Yeah, you're not worried about his long-term health.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of cold to say, but the reality is you're not really concerned.
If you're going to beat somebody up, you beat up Russ. You don't beat up the young kid. You don't send him in to get his ass kicked. It's stupid. So all of those Giants fans, please, pump the brakes. Realize that this is a long season. We weren't supposed to be very good anyway. Let's use it as a building material. But again, I think a lot of this comes down to Brian Daboll's play calling, and he's going to have to step it up because people were not enamored with his offense. I mean, if you heard Tiki Barber after the game yesterday, if you heard other people talking, they're blown away by how terrible this offense and the offensive scheme is being put out there by Brian Daboll. You can't run. You have a ball. The first chance you get on the goal line, you run a stupid gimmick play, and then you go 0 for 7 at the goal line. Instead of running a gimmicky play, why aren't you smashing the ball down their face with either Tracy or Scatterbo?
Especially with the running backs you have. I mean, seriously.
They didn't get any of them going. It was a train wreck, but it's not Russ's fault. It's not the guys on the field. To me, it's Daboll right now. You've got to have a better game plan than that, my man.
So I texted you earlier about more confident, less confident, or holding your ground, right? And the reason I texted you that idea is because I think how I feel about the Cowboys after week 1 is definitely different than how I felt going into the game. So I was curious to see how you feel, because I know last week before week 1's played, right, you had the Giants potentially getting a wild card spot. I told you I saw the Giants anywhere from 4 to 9 wins. I literally think that is their window, and it's a matter of how the ball bounces for them, and I genuinely believe that, and I still think that after week 1, but I definitely am leaning closer to the 4 wins after what I saw. So my question, I'll give you my feeling on the Cowboys when we get to that Cowboys-Eagles game, but since we're talking about the Giants, are you less confident holding your ground? Because I know you're definitely not more confident.
I'm holding my ground because, again, it's week 1. We weren't supposed to win this game anyway. We're not supposed to win next week against Dallas. If we could steal either of these 2 games, it's a net positive. So I'm looking at it as a game we're not supposed to win. All I hoped for was better offensive play. We didn't get that week 1. But I don't blame that on the Giants themselves, the players. I blame that on the scheme and the coaches. So I'm taking Daboll as week 1. You better step it up week 2. Let's see what you got. I think the defense did enough, held Washington to 21 points. I mean, again, if you're going to hold offenses to 21 points or less, you should be in those games or winning those games.
Yeah, and
Instead, you scored 6 points and scored no touchdowns. And I got to be honest, the Giants fans that's what they're pissed about. They just wanted to see better offensive play. And outside of early in the game, they didn't get any of it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you're just...
I have a feeling that was going to happen. It's all right.
All right, so I'm going to just hold on to this real quick. First day back at the studio, people. You got to deal with us. You got to live with it. We'll be better We only get better from here, right? We're talking Giants week 1. Just call us the Giants of week 1. We'll get better as the season goes on. That scared the crap out of me.
I had a feeling it was going to happen.
I'm like, please don't tell me I just broke this expensive piece of equipment.
No, not at all.
All right, good. I got a kid now. I can't afford to pay for this stuff. Oh, man. Well, we appreciate y'all that are listening or watching. Hope that just gave you a nice little laugh. We're definitely here rocking. We're going to keep it moving. We just have to do a quick little fix. All right, we're in. We're good. I'm going to try and stop touching this thing and just leave it alone. So let's just get you set to a good spot. All right. Hope that gave everybody a nice little giggle if you were watching that. Blooper reel. Exactly. Thank you, Julie. Also, shout out to Julie for thinking we should get at least one half a piece of Cowboys gear in here. I wanted to pull out the box score because I knew the game was pretty close as you got through the first quarter. It was a little ugly. And like
do I have any
what's
Cowboys
funny?
here? Well, I do. I got Trayvon Diggs up there. You just can't see him.
All right. Well, we'll take that. We'll take that.
He's a Bama boy.
We'll take that. We'll take that. But I went downstairs around like 1:30, 2 o'clock. I was upstairs watching Red Zone, right? Cowboys played Thursday, fantasy football, like Red Zone it up. Let's go. And like around like 1:30, like 1:45, 2 o'clock, I go downstairs, checking on my mom, see how she's doing, see how her fantasy team's doing. And I'm like, what's going on with the Giants game? Like, it's like literally the only game that has not been shown on Red Zone today. Like,
because nothing.
And
was
she's
going
like,
on.
literally nothing. It is ugly. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So I agree with you, though. I would hold my ground as a Giants fan, especially with the optimism that you had. I still see him falling, and it really is going to be based off of how the ball bounces for them in close games. That's really how this is going to boil down. Washington is a better team, right? Like, you lost to a better team. Can you steal a couple games against the teams that are better than you on paper? That's going to determine where the Giants season go. But I do completely agree. Like, even though Dable was able to draft his guy in Dart, if this offense continues to look like this throughout the year, I don't know if he ever gets a full season with his guy. And that could be the thing that forces him to maybe play Dart earlier than what many Giants fans would like to see.
But again, the problem isn't who's playing quarterback; it's the guy calling the plays.
Well, yeah, because you saw Daniel Jones and what he did in Indianapolis against Miami, and he looked great. So, first, the only thing I gotta say other than the Giants game, about the Giants game, is that I saw a stat and, ouch, Giants are the first team to start 3 seasons in a row without scoring a touchdown in their opening game since the 1922 through 1924 Chicago Bears.
Wow.
Like, I saw that stat. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, that is insane, right? Meanwhile, Daniel Jones in Indianapolis is the first quarterback to start a season with a team and score on every possession that they had the ball, whether it be a field goal, touchdown, doesn't matter, since 1999.
It's looking bad for Dable right now.
That is rough.
But I'm just saying, it looks bad for Dable.
Yes, it looks very bad for Dable. It does. And again, like you said, Andrew Thomas is a Pro Bowl level tackle. No questions about it. And he protects the blind side of your quarterback. Arguably the most important offensive lineman other than probably your center, right? You also were missing one of your starting guards. So 2 of your starting offensive linemen missed this game against maybe Washington doesn't have a list of great pass rushers, but Dan Quinn knows how to generate pressure without having to blitz heavy.
The top half of the league defense, I would
call yeah. But a lot of it is schematic, not just strictly talent, right? So the combination of those 2 things also doesn't help the Giants. All I'll say is, again, right, I think I'm holding still on the Giants in my prediction, but I also think people that are out there that have the Giants having a rough year are fair in saying that they can hold confident in what they felt the year is going to be after week 1. But it's week 1, right? Overreaction Monday is an every week thing in football, but the week 1 overreactions is the definition. I mean,
so real quick, because I know we're starting to run short on time. Give me your overreaction then on the Cowboys here, because I got to hear your Cowboys-Eagles talk. But then there's 2 other games I want to get to from this past week. before we go into some picks for next week. Fife did send me 2 picks, so we're gonna have 2 picks from him: a shit show and a game of the week.
Love it.
We'll do the same
Love
here.
having the Fife shit show. So I came out of that game on Thursday pissed off because of how they lost. Right? You're a $30 million wide receiver. That one pass that he dropped, probably Dak Prescott's best throw of his entire NFL career. I mean, it was a 40-plus yard bomb down the field that he dropped in between 3 defenders and another one of the wide receivers. And he dropped it right in the basket, right? So that play doesn't guarantee Dallas to win, right? You're down 4. You need a touchdown either way, right? So that play puts them in position where they can aggressively attack, or they can slow it down, try to run the ball a little bit, milk some clock. It gives them a lot of avenues to go. When I woke up Friday morning and was able to put aside the week 1 mistakes made by our top, arguably one of the best wide receivers in the league, I came out of that game feeling more confident about Dallas going forward this season than I did going into the game. Not drastically more confident, okay? I had Dallas around 9 wins. I'm still keeping Dallas around 9 wins. I just feel more confident in saying 9 wins because defensively, once they went into halftime and they made their adjustments, their biggest issue was Jalen Hurts. And anybody that is really into football understands when you play a scrambling quarterback, you have to maintain your rush lanes. It's the most important thing. As soon as you break contain, it's over because you're not catching the guy from behind, right? Because you're going at him, he's going past you. So now you got to turn around. It's not happening. But the run game to hold Saquon Barkley to under 70 yards, and it's not like he didn't get his fair share of attempts. A.J. Brown with only 1 catch. What's the other wide receiver on Philly?
Smith.
Devontae Smith, one or 2 catches, right? Dallas Goddard took him because Dallas's weakest spot on that defense to me is their linebackers. There are a whole bunch of no-name guys. And where else do you attack when you have that but the middle of the field, and that's what your tight end's for. But you have a drop by Jake Ferguson that should have been a touchdown that would have gave them the lead in the 4th quarter. You have 2 main drops in the 4th quarter by CeeDee Lamb. One should have been an interception, the way the ball bounced up in the air. Lucky that didn't happen. Another one that puts him in scoring inside the 20-yard line. And then the other one at the end of the game, I'm not going to hold against him because I'm sorry, even the best wide receivers throughout history in the NFL, about maybe 5 to 10% of the time that catch is being made. That's a very hard catch to make. And honestly, if Dak took just a touch off of it, he's catching that without having to dive for the ball. But I came out of it feeling more confident because of the run defense was consistent, right? They gave up 1 or 2 runs that went beyond 5 yards, if you don't include Jalen Hurts. They gave up 1 or 2 runs that went beyond 5 yards. Other than that, the Eagles averaged less than 4 yards a carry. That's great against that offensive line, right? Secondary on the outside looked really good, holding the wide receivers down. And Dak looked good. But most importantly, on the offense, they were not static. Last year, they averaged motion pre-snap less than 40%. In that game alone, they had motion on 49% of their plays. The league average is 50 or 48. Those are the types of things you want to see, right? So overall, do I think Dallas all of a sudden after that game is somebody that's competing for a Super Bowl? Hell freaking no. But do I think Dallas has the opportunity to compete for a playoff spot? Do I think Dallas has an opportunity to be competitive throughout the year? Yes. So I moved a little bit towards the more confident, but just strictly saying I am now more confident that they can hit that 9-win mark. Not now I think they're winning 11 or 12. Mm-hmm. So just to kind of put that out there, that's how I'm feeling about the Cowboys after week 1. And who knows? They lay an egg against the Giants on Sunday, and I go down to we're picking in the top 10. So it's football. It's a week-to-week game. But after I got past the anger of how they lost that game, because that game was theirs to win. Philly basically handed it to them, and that weather delay helped them a lot too. There was things that worked in their favor.
All right. So I see 2 games still left on the schedule from this week with week 1 implications that I think are going to have week 17 and playoff implications.
Okay. I think I already know I know where you're going with at least one of them.
So there's 2 there because one of them, and we'll start here, Tampa, Atlanta. They're the top 2 clear in that division. Sorry, Julie Jules, but your Saints suck. They're just not a very good team.
Sorry, Julie.
And I gotta be honest, Carolina did not look good either.
Oh
They
God,
looked
it was
trash.
really bad.
So this is the matchup that, to me, week 1, even though it's week 1 and you still got 16 more weeks to play, this game mattered because at the end of the year, they could be separated by 1 game, and this could be that game. So, I mean, hell of a game by Tampa. We expected them to win, but at the same time, like, it was very close. Michael Penix looks like he has a better grasp of the offense. They didn't look terrible.
Kyle Pitts was like 5th in target share. Like,
had a game. So, I mean, they're hoping he gets that kind of production week 2 too. But, I mean, that being said, Tampa able to do what they do, play sound football, win the game. So, I mean, it wasn't pretty. It was a close game.
It was a very ugly start for Tampa. That offense was
ugly.
very, very slow in the beginning, but they definitely picked it up.
Yep.
That rookie running back, I mean, or not running back, the rookie wide receiver that they drafted, I mean, that Igbuka, I think is how you pronounce it. Apparently, Baker Mayfield was talking to the media today, and apparently Igbuka was the one that said in the huddle, that's the play, this is the play we should run. If we run it, I'm scoring a touchdown. And he went and scored the game-winning touchdown. So, like, that's impressive. But then Atlanta manages to drive down the field.
Yeah.
Right? Tampa Bay is supposed to have a pretty decent defense. Atlanta manages to drive down the field. And he shanked it. Younghoe Koo, that dude, he's going to be looking for a job.
Well, no, they've already come out and said that they're trying out kickers.
Oh, yeah, they're bringing in competition because, I mean, he did this several times to them last year. And then to do it again in week 1 when that's not a hard field goal. Like, it wasn't 63 yards. It wasn't 58.
44,
That's what I mean. Right? Like, that's in the NFL at this point, a 40 to 45-yard field goal is pretty much the same as a 20 to 25.
It should be automatic.
These kickers are that good now.
I mean, they kick an extra point's 33, right? Or
that's right.
I mean, it's not like it's... You got to be able to make that. He didn't make it. And unfortunately, that's a game that I think come week 17, Atlanta's going to look back and say, damn, week 1 cost us.
Well, and especially I just when I was clicking around while you were talking, what I was looking at was the end of their schedules because I wanted to see when they play. So they play again on December 11th. So I think that's like week 14. But 2 of Tampa Bay's last 3 games are against Carolina. Atlanta ends against New Orleans, but 2 of Tampa Bay's last 3 are against Carolina. Yes, I understand division games are different, but Carolina is just not a good team. Like they're very young, and their plan is for the future. Carolina did not come into this year with any hopes of anything other than let's keep our young guys healthy and develop them, and that's how they're playing, and that's what you're going to see at the end of the year for them. They're not going to. They may be in a position where they're saying to each other themselves, "Hey, you know what? We're bringing up some practice squad guys. Like, let's really see what we have because we're going to take a number 1 or number 2 pick." Take one of the best players in the draft, and we're going to continue to build this young roster. But, yeah, that game was a great game, and I got to give credit to Penix. I honestly thought I figured by the end of the season they were already looking for another quarterback. Like, and the way he played in week 1, he showed you why Kirk Cousins is not starting.
His biggest concern is injury. That's what it comes down to. But that being said, last game of the week I want to talk about also big implications for the end of the season. I mean, Baltimore and Buffalo. I looked at it. It was 40-25, and I told Janice last night, I'm going to shower. She goes, wait a second, the game's still on. I said it's 40-25. Game's over.
Sunday night, yep.
Game's over, Sunday night. I'm going to shower. They're not coming back. It's a fourth quarter, couple minutes to go. Baltimore's defense. We're good. By the time I get out of the shower and bathroom, it's a completely different score. So, I mean, it's so weird, too, because Buffalo looked so good at times, but then Baltimore looked like they dominated for most of the first half. And a good part of the second half, Derrick Henry was a manimal. 89 or 169?
3 touchdowns.
Zay Flowers had himself probably a career day as well.
That was actually his career high in receiving yards, yeah.
Absolutely. Unbelievable performance by Lamar and all them. Yeah. A late fumble by Henry.
Which happens how often?
And all of a sudden, they score what, twice in a matter of, or three times?
A little over, I think it was 4 minutes and 18 seconds that they were down 15 again.
Yes.
And they come back and they get that win.
Baltimore may kick themselves, and
this isn't just a week 17. This is playoff implications. Both these teams,
this is everything.
Yeah, these two teams stay healthy. Both these teams, this game is going to have an impact on how the seeding is done, who's home, who's away. And I'm sorry, like, yes, playing in Baltimore is. I appreciate that. I'm like drifting away. Like, don't look at me. Like Baltimore, I'd rather play in Baltimore than Buffalo. In January, right? Like, if I had to choose, both are going to be cold. Both have a great chance for snow. But I'd much rather play in Baltimore than play in Buffalo. You're at least a little more south, right? You're a little closer to that equator, right? You got a better chance for rain instead of snow, or I don't know. But that game is going to have implications across the board, and it could even have implications on your MVP voting. Like, this game through and through. And that's not just these two teams. This game is going to impact the entire AFC and how you look at it as we progress through the season.
Absolutely.
But I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to see these two teams probably play each other again.
They're two of the, if not the top teams, they're two of the top three teams in the AFC.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. It was a great game, though, but a costly fumble by Henry at the end, and not one that you really see happen. So, I think those are two great games, and honestly, I just think that was your game of the week. I think that's the best way to put it. But speaking of games of the week, in week 2 is Thursday our game of the week?
It actually is. It is Fife's game of the week. So he did. He picked it as his game of the week. Washington at Green Bay. He picked Green Bay. Green Bay given 3.5, over under 48.5. This is a hell of a game for week 2. It could go either way, in my opinion. The only reason I'm leaning Green Bay is because Green Bay's home. If this game was in Washington, I may lean Washington. I think the crowd, I think Lambeau plays a factor. So for that reason, I'll take Green Bay, but I would take Washington getting the 3.5. I think this is a close game. I think it could be a field goal or less. So give me Washington getting the 3.5. Give me Green Bay on the money line. And I like points in this game, even though Green Bay's got a great defense. I still think points are going to be a premium. Give me the over of 48.5. What do you think?
I'll take the over of 48.5. I will also take Green Bay giving the points. So that's the only place I disagree with you. I'll actually take Green Bay giving the 3.5 because I think Green Bay is a team that's only going to get better, right? Micah Parsons was only playing, I think he only played like a fourth, like 25% or so of the defensive snaps. Still managed to get a sack, but the energy that he brought into that stadium in week 1, the energy he brought to that team, when you watch the camera view that's behind Parsons after he gets his sack and the reaction of that sideline, like they embraced it. Like I think Green Bay that roster, those players, those coaches, I think they looked at bringing Parsons in as that's the piece. Right, we had a really good defense last year. We can be a really great defense this year. And if Jordan Love can stay healthy, which has really been his biggest issue, like he's an up and down quarterback, and a lot of it's been connected to injuries that he's gone through. If Love can stay healthy, Jordan Reed's going to get healthier. You're going to get Watson or Watson, right? There's Christian Watson, the deep threat for them. You're going to get him back in a couple weeks, like.
Still have Golden, who you drafted in the first round.
That's what I mean. Like they're going to actually get better if they stay healthy as the year goes on. I think Washington's a good team, but I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think they take a step back from last year. I think you see a sophomore slump a little bit from Jaden Daniels, not a lot of it. I think he's still going to be considered one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I think he's going to have
close to a similar year, but I think it's only because they added more weapons around him. Between the rookie running back,
they used Debo way more than I thought they were going to.
That's what I mean. Debo, McLaurin, like I think they're trying to give him more talent so that he doesn't have that slump.
Got to capitalize on that rookie contract, man. You got to. But I'm going to take Green Bay, giving the 3.5, but I'm definitely with you on taking the over. You're playing in Green Bay in September, right? Like, this is the best weather you're going to get in Green Bay. Like, it's as long as it doesn't rain or anything, and I don't think they're calling for any bad weather. I think that's going to be a really fun game. You're going to see some really big plays. You're going to see some hits. You're going to see a good time. But I'm going to take Green Bay, give them the 3.5, and take that over as well with you.
All right, and then we're gonna have the shit show of the week by.
Oh, this fucking shit. What's the point?
I wish I had my headphones.
I can't take it anymore.
It is the shit show of the week, brought to you by Mr. Fife. He is picking New England, Miami as his shit show
I mean, after
of the
week one
week.
performances, I can see that.
Miami looked as bad as anybody. And
God.
they got their asses handed to them. And New England didn't look good either. I got to be honest. So that being said, Miami's at home. I think they got to get right, or McDaniels could be on the very.
It sounds
short
like
hot
he's
seat.
already on that hot seat.
So give me Miami at home. Given the 1.5, give me the over because I don't think either of these defenses are great. Although I think New England will get better as the season goes on with Vrabel. Give me Miami at home. Give me the over of 43.5. Give me Miami laying the points too.
I'm going the opposite of you. I'm taking New England on the road in Miami. They at least looked more steady. Miami looked completely lost. Offense, defense, special teams, every level. Tua barely had time to throw, and no disrespect to the Colts, but they don't have one of the best pass rushers in the league. Neither does New England.
This to me is a sign of they don't take preseason serious. The first 4 weeks of the season are the preseason.
Yes.
I will preach that from now and every season going forward because it's not football of 20 years ago where preseason was taken seriously and week one you got week one football.
Yeah, because remember,
week one football is bullshit.
Yeah, when they did 4 weeks of preseason, especially right, the first week of preseason, your starters did like a drive, maybe two. Week 2, they played a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half. Week 3, they played at least the first half, maybe through the third quarter,
yeah.
right? And then the fourth one, that's where your starters sat because that's where you're like, okay, we've got to fill out the back end of our roster. We got to go into week 1 as healthy as possible. So let's get all our other guys out there and see who's going to fill out the last 20 spots on our team, right? Now that it's 3 weeks, they just don't look at it the same, and with the money they're paying these guys,
don't go more than a quarter in the preseason.
Yeah, it's very, very few coaches play their guys, and the problem is, I guarantee you the coaches want to play them, but you got the owner and the GM saying, no. Like, they get Dallas, right? Prescott didn't throw a pass since November last year, and I guarantee you Jerry's like, no. We're paying his ass $60 million this year. He's playing.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's
we're
not
waiting to
getting
the
hurt
regular
in
season.
preseason.
Yeah, we're not doing that crap, right? So, but either way, I think Miami is a team that's in trouble. It's at I follow this guy Omar Kelly. Shout out to Omar Kelly. He's a beat writer for the Miami Dolphins. Really good follow on Twitter, and he's even made it clear that the rumblings are already starting that McDaniels and their GM are both on the hot seat. Ownership doesn't like what they saw in week 1. They didn't like what last year looked like. And also, there's apparently some rifts that, were smoothed over when they talked to the media, but apparently there's still some rifts with Tyreek Hill and Tua. And Tyreek Hill is one of those TO type of wide receivers, right? He's not biting his tongue. He's going to say what he thinks.
He hasn't looked, but he wants the ball more is what I think it is, and he can't get it because he's not that good. He hasn't been good since he came back from that injury last year. He hasn't been the same player. So until he becomes the same player, until he's a cheetah again, until he's the fastest guy on the field, I'm sorry. Once you've taken a step back, it's hard to keep demanding the ball the same way. You're not the same guy.
Agreed.
Show me you're the same guy.
Agreed.
So that was Fife's 2 games. Fife took New England as well. Shout out to him. Shout out to Bobby, his daughter, as well. Speedy recovery. She got broken foot.
All right. Speedy recovery, girl. You got this. Your dad's a hockey player. You can handle anything. Rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine.
Shout out. I don't know if you've got a game of the week and a shit show or a toilet bowl or anything you want. I got a toilet bowl myself, but I don't know if you've got 2 games this week that you're looking at. I
mean, I got to be honest. I think I'm really looking at Philly, Kansas City. I think that's a very interesting game. Carter doesn't get suspended, which I agreed with that ruling, right? Like, if he did that and got ejected in the third quarter, right? Then I would have been like, all right, but dude got ejected before a single snap was played. Yeah. I'm cool with that. The fine is pretty
games,
massive.
You win stupid prizes, and he should have been
like
suspended.
They say, you F around, you find out, right? But I'm not mad that he didn't get suspended. I think Philly, Kansas City coming off of a rough loss against the Chargers. Philly
Another
coming
team
off
that doesn't take the preseason serious. I'm telling you.
Philly coming off of a win against Dallas that I think they expected to look better than they did. So Philly at Kansas City. I just think Kansas City bounces back. Plus, this is a revenge game for them. They're playing at home. Their fans are going to want that revenge. And after losing that Super Bowl, I think this game is going to mean a lot to them and mean more to them than a lot of games they're going to play throughout this season until we get to that back half near Thanksgiving and where that playoff push really starts. So I'm going to take Kansas City winning the game. So I guess Philly giving 1.5. I'll just take Kansas City outright. I'll take the under because neither offense looked really good. So I'm going to actually take the under on this one. But give me Kansas City winning at home against Philly. And shout out to Marissa Doobie up in the chat watching us live. I think it's only appropriate that was the first game I went to. So give me Kansas City winning at home.
It's not on the Eagles, but I do have a Barkley Center jersey.
Yeah. So, there's that. But
yeah,
I hate the Eagles. So
that being said, though, I'm taking the Eagles. I think the Eagles beat Kansas City. I think Kansas City's still in preseason mode. I don't think they're ready. I think this is the game that snaps them to attention. I don't think they get killed, but I think they get beat. I think they get beat at home. I think that's what's going to start to galvanize them, unite them, and I think they start to rise from there. But I just look at it now. I don't love what I saw from Kansas City last week. And do I think they're going to get exponentially better against Philly next week? I don't, especially if Philly's going to get their best defensive player back on the field in Jalen Carter. I'm sorry. I like Philly's defense better right now. I like the way their offense is playing better right now. I think they'll straighten things out. I think Kansas City, this is going to be the game that wakes them up. I think they lose, and I think they wake up, and then that awakens the monster, and they come back with a vengeance. And, it may be the only 2 games they lose all year. But I think they end up losing to Philly this week. So give me Philly laying the 1.5 too, because I think it could be about a field goal game. So I'll take Philly giving the 1.5. I'll take Philly outright, and I'm going to take the over of 46.5 because I think both offenses can put up points. I know Kansas City didn't last week, but again, I think it could happen. So give me Philly, give me it all. That's where I'm at. You got a shit show though?
Shit show? Let's go with the game listed right above it. Carolina at Arizona.
Ooh. That's a game no one wants to watch.
Arizona really didn't do anything special. They managed to hold on and beat the Saints. That's not something that should be said this year. Sorry again, Julie. But it's not something that should be said this year. Like, the Saints should be if you take them seriously, should be a chalk up the win with no problem. It wasn't that for them. I will give props to Spen Rattler, though. He looked pretty good for New Orleans. But again, against Arizona.
He threw the ball like 50 times. I'm sorry. You got Alvin Kamara there.
Yeah,
why are you not running it?
And Carolina, I think, again, we said it before. I think we just know what Carolina is doing this year. They're developing their young talent. They're going to accept the losses, and they're going to work on building that young roster and getting them experience. So give me Arizona. What is Arizona giving right now?
6.5.
6.5. I'll take Arizona given the 6.5. I'll take the under, though, because I don't think either team is going to have an easy time breaking 21 points.
I'm going with Carolina getting the 6.5. I think they'll keep it close enough. They're still going to lose, but I would take Arizona outright at home. And I don't like either offense, but 45.5 isn't a lot, so give me the over.
It is not a lot. I will definitely agree with that. But after week 1, I don't think either one of these teams is going to have easy times breaking 21 points. So that's why I'm rolling with it. But those are my 2. And since we're just doing it real quick, I'm going to take Dallas beating the Giants. They got to win this game. They just have to. So I'm not worried. I don't know if you want to talk spreads and all that stuff, but
I'm taking the Giants. I got to be honest. I think this is a game they could steal. They're coming off a rough one last week. If Dabo can come up with some creative play calling, I think the team has a chance.
That's fair.
If they come out and they play like they did last week and the offense looks stagnant, then they're going to get their asses kicked. Either way, it's going to be tough in Dallas. We don't win often there, especially in the last 10 years or so. So, give me the Giants getting 5.5. Give me the... I don't know how I could say over, but I guess I'm going to say over. I don't know how. The Giants scored 6 points last week and not even averaging 16 last
Dallas
season.
scores
It's so
42. The Giants score 6. You've got your over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
I'm
kind of.
by the way, I'm not that confident in Dallas, especially against that pass rush. I think Dallas's offensive line's in for one hell of a challenge, and I think that is actually going to be a pretty close game.
I agree. I mean, as far as games that I don't think are going to be close, there's not too many of them on here. I mean, yeah, I guess.
I mean, I don't know if I'm taking Baltimore giving 10.5.
Well, speaking of which, the biggest line last week was Denver, and they barely won. Biggest line was Denver at 8.5 last week, and they barely won. So you know what? I'm actually going to go with that game because Denver, to me, didn't look as good as they looked last year. And Indy looked a lot better than they looked last year. You have two teams that are kind of coming in where people were really high on Denver and really down on Indy. And after week 1, people are really high on Indy and really down on or kind of down on Denver a little bit. I'm going to pick that game as my shit show because to me it is. You got Daniel Jones still starting for the Colts. It's a shit show there. I don't care what you call it. It is. So, I mean, I look at it. I got to think that it was just last week and week 1. I don't think it's going to be a trend that Daniel Jones is going to go off. So give me Denver in Indy. Give me Denver laying the 1.5. And give me the over because 41.5 is easy to get. So
I would agree. I think Denver, what's going to be different is Daniel Jones and that offense is going to go against a really good defense. And I think it could be a more coming down to earth moment for that Indy offense, especially Daniel Jones. And I think one of the big issues Denver had was going into the second half. I think they were like 5-1 pass run. And when you have, the rookie running back in Harvey that you drafted, right? You've got, I think it's Dobbins that they brought in, right?
Dobbins, yep.
So you got two good running backs. You still have only a second-year quarterback. I just think that they're gonna. Sean Payton's going to look at that tape and be like, what the hell was I thinking with my play calling, right? And he is a pass-first guy, but, like, you have a second-year quarterback. You don't have Drew Brees right now. Like, you need to let's tone this down a little bit. So I think you see Denver get back to the run. I think the defense benefits from that, right? Because now they're spending less time on the field. And I don't see Indianapolis repeating what they were able to do against Miami because, honestly, Miami just didn't show up. I don't know how else to say it. I just don't think Miami got on the plane and actually flew to Indy. I think they just mentally stayed in Miami. So, which I don't blame them. I mean, it's hard to leave Miami, right? But yeah, so I think I'm gonna go under there. I'll take Denver given the 1.5 because I think that's a game they win by, I'd say, minimum a field goal, but possibly even more if you see old Daniel Jones with some of those turnovers.
And then, all right. So then that's going to bring us to our last game of the week. The game of the week I'm going to call is going to be an unexpected one because I don't think you saw it coming. I don't think anybody saw it coming. But Tampa Bay at Houston. Very even matchup, in my opinion. Two teams that Houston won week 1, right? Or did they lose?
They lost.
They lost. Okay. Bouncing back. Houston, we're bouncing back after week 1. At home. Tampa, I mean, to me, they're kind of evenly matched. I mean, they're not like Baker's older, obviously, than CJ Stroud, but both have pretty good running games. Both got good receivers, with Nico Collins, Tank Dell, all the people they got there.
Well, Tank Dell's still out.
Oh, no, he's still out.
He's
but
still recovering
still,
from that
Nico
injury.
Collins, one of the best receivers in the league. And Tampa Bay, coming in off of what they did last week against Atlanta, they're kind of riding a high. Do they keep it going? Houston given 2.5 at home, over under 42.5. I actually like Tampa in this game. I don't know why, and not that I think Houston's a bad team. I think they're probably the best team in that in their division in that AFC South. But I don't know why. I like what Tampa's doing. I think they have a solid defense. I like their run game. I like what Baker's doing. Like I said, shaky first half, picked it up as the game went on. Can they continue the momentum? I think they can. I'm going to take Tampa. Give me the points. Give me the over. I'm taking Tampa.
I think that this might be one of the hardest games of the week to pick. Yeah, no, I think this is a really good matchup because I think they really are on that same playing field,
tier,
right? Like they're not the top team in their conference. But they're both probably the top team in their division, right? What concerns me is Houston's offense has kind of looked worse and worse ever since Stroud's rookie year. Like his rookie year, they looked really good. Last year, they kind of leveled out a little bit. Injuries played a big part of that. And then in week 1, they managed 9 points against the Rams, right? So that's a little rough right there. But I think Tampa is the better overall team, but I'm actually going to take Houston winning at home. I'm going to take them giving the 2.5, but I will take the over because I think it's going to be a shootout. I think you're going to see big games from Evans and the receivers. Bucky Irving's another guy I think you're going to see a big game. He was pretty much contained by the Rams. But I think Houston playing at home and having that opportunity to have that home crowd behind them, and they're really that crowd is. Those fans are bought into Stroud. They're bought into DeMeco Ryans at head coach. They've got some good players on the defensive side of the ball. I think it's a nice rebound game for Houston, and I think you're going to see Houston come out on top. And yeah, so give me the over and give me Houston giving the points.
All right. Well, it's about to wrap us up here for week 2. I think we hit just about everything we wanted to hit.
Already week 2.
Already
it just
week
goes
2,
so quick, man. Oh my God.
It'll be week 17 and playoffs before you know it. So it flies. Time flies. Time stops for no one.
Time does stop for no one, and nothing we could do about it, but we got to keep rolling.
Yeah, no, shout out to everybody that joined us tonight. Shout out to
Julie,
Marissa,
Mama H, Fife hopped in. Shout out to Fife. Yeah, so we got a couple heads that hopped in.
If you're out there, I know that they'll be listening. If they didn't listen now, they'll be listening later. So shout out to them as well. Shout out to your cousin Ryan, Jen. I know they didn't get a chance to listen. Yeah, tonight.
Jen and Jeff weren't able to join. They apparently they're out for the evening. But happy to hear Jeff's doing better and feeling good back at home. So we're gonna save this. We're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna mention it. I want this to be a surprise. So we're gonna keep that off camera because my mom not great at keeping secrets. So we're just gonna keep that inside the studio, and I think we're gonna get back to Tuesdays.
If you're good with that.
Yeah, I think Tuesdays work. I mean, obviously sometimes things are gonna change with the baby and Amanda's coaching schedule, but and shout out to my Amanda and my peanut Stephanie. She'll be 3 months old on Saturday already. Already, it's just crazy. Had me up since 5:30 this morning, but well worth it because she's that damn adorable. But nah, I gotta go drop off the car for an oil change. Me and Amanda going to Atlantic City this weekend. We're going Thursday night and Friday night. We're staying at Oceans, so hopefully the casino gods are kind to us. It's our first getaway since the baby was born. So Thursday night, we already said we're locking ourselves in the room. We're probably gonna be sleeping by like 9 o'clock. And I wouldn't be surprised if we slept till like noon. So really looking forward to that time with Amanda. And yeah, excited to be back here with you next week, my friend. Doing this with you in person, it's a whole nother. It's different. The energy's different. I was exhausted when I parked my car, and it's like I walked in, saw this amazing setup that you've put together, and it just all of a sudden that second wind kicked in. So. Ready to rock and roll. Football season's getting ready in full swing. We're going to have playoff baseball races are coming up. Caitlin Clark done for the year. They shut her down. People think there's more going on than the groin injury that she was listed out for. Bulls signed Giddey, the guy they traded for with the Thunder, to a 4-year, $100 million deal, which makes him only like the 79th highest player in the league. Like, you got to be freaking kidding me. That's nuts. I think it was a great deal for him, so happy about that. There's still not going to be a great team this season, but a good piece to try and build around. Hockey starts. Oh, man, I think we're about 3 weeks away from basketball preseason, basketball preseason. I saw the first commercial for NBA on NBC, and they brought back the old theme song, like literal chills.
John Tesh,
literal chills.
Little Round Ball Rock.
Like I was literally waiting to see a highlight of Michael Jordan dunking on Patrick Ewing. It was a great feeling. Looking forward to it. Exactly. Yeah, chills. Literal chills. Got excited about it. So, but yeah, no, very happy to be here, man, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the groove with you. And thank you to everybody out there watching us now. And to those that are going to listen to us on the podcast later.
Or watch us on YouTube later. Anywhere you want to watch us,
anywhere.
do it.
And shout out to my future brother-in-law, Joey. He was asking Amanda yesterday where he can catch us. So I think he's going to actually, he's got to drive home. He's driving home to Boston tonight. So he came down for yesterday, and he had to do work at Picatinny today. So he's driving home to Boston. He might be listening to us right now. If you are, Joey, we appreciate you. If you're not and you listen later, appreciate you giving us a chance.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's Twitter, right? David Hastings 23 on Twitter /X, D Hastings 23 on Instagram. I'll get that over with so that I'm done talking.
At the Living Legend on X, at Louis Aussie Dude on Instagram, at Champscast on Facebook, on YouTube, on everything. By the way, shout out to Timmy for helping me get it changed on Facebook. Thank you. And yeah, till next week, share your opinions in the chat. Don't be a Karen like in the lady in Philly. And yeah, be nice to kids out there, man. If there's a ball, give it to them. Boom.
More than anything, I want better execution. Are we clear on that? I want better fucking execution.
Boom.